Let's do a quick sound check and see if it works, just to make sure. Yeah, it works. So, what's up, everybody? It's been a day and a half that I have been doing anything on live stream wise, and I went through a lot of my emails, and there were a lot of guys asking me stuff about remote ID. I had probably about 40 emails that I had to skim through. So I figured open it up with a live stream. I'm back on StreamYard. I'm gonna try make this a regular occurrence again. I went through my surgeries for those of you who didn't know, and I had my physical therapy, and I started posting reviews and stuff again. So I figured remote ID. I seen already there was Eat More Possum. I seen Maddie Backwell inside there. I seen Lynn Smith. I appreciate you guys coming. Let me see. Can I? How does this work again? Boom. There you go. Now you are a moderator, Eat More Possum. I appreciate you guys swinging by, and definitely looking forward to having more live streams going. So, remote ID. The question that was raised is most likely from people that don't really know nothing about remote ID, I guess. I don't know why they don't use the Google function, but I'm willing to answer the question. It's pretty much a system that is going to notify certain channels to where your drone is at, where you took off, how long you're in the air, what area you're at. Pretty much that. It's like a Big Brother's watching kind of thingy. And it will have to be every operator, drone pilot, operator, whatever you want to call it, has to be in compliance of that by September 16, 2023. By September 16, 2022, any manufacturer that is creating drones must have shown in their creation, whatever, that they have the capability of activating remote ID. So everything you bought before is pretty much non-remote ID compliant, unless they do third-party apps, third-party devices you're going to strap onto your drones, firmware updates. There's a lot of things that manufacturers have to fall into place within that 1 year between September 16th of 2022 and 2023. What's up, Magic? How you doing, my man? So that is pretty much what you have to look forward to in remote ID. Now, remote ID, how is it going to affect people in general? Actually, not really that much, because it just, well, some people have argued about it because who will be able to see those things? You know, And some people have argued: is it only for law enforcement? Is it only for FAA? Is it only for um, like pretty much agencies, public agencies? There were hints and there were certain parts in training in certain classes where it was mentioned that even the public will know who it is that is flying a drone if they inquire. Now that is something cool, but on the other hand, it's something really weird too, because now I'm giving every Karen and Kevin probably the chance to come up to me, find me, and pick a fight with me if they want to. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? I wouldn't say so, because what you cut out with this, you have to look always when you have things like this, you always have to look at the negative aspects, and mostly you have to look at the positive that comes out of this whole thing. What's up, WrestleMania? How you doing, my man? Let me make you a moderator as well. There you go. There's some. How come I don't have you guys as moderator? I don't get it, dude. Long time, my friend. So glad you see. Can I put this on the screen? I have not done this for a long time. There you go, dude. Long time, my friend. So glad to see you and get some trusted information on this issue. Wow, it's pretty much uh self-educated kind of stuff. It's nothing really, you know what I mean. Anyways, if you're looking at the positive things of this remote ID, because now that every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to be able to know where we are flying, who we are, what we do, what drone, in what area we are in. If you don't have anything to hide, I would say it's nothing bad. Now, if there's somebody who actually utilizes the drone to spy, to check out your property, whatever, and you are aware of this stuff. So now, even though it's available to every person to look up that drone, the question is, are they capable of doing so? I still know of people that don't even have Facebook. I still know of people that don't even have a computer. I still know of people that don't know nothing about drones or regulations or the rules or whatever, including law enforcement officers. So these people have to slowly get used to that kind of stuff. Like, oh, I can actually look this up. So it's all about educational wise. So it's not like they're going to have this broadcast on the national news, I think, where they're going to refer to, oh, this is your drone center. You can download this app for yourself if you find a drone. I don't think the news will do that. It's I don't think it's going to happen that way. It's pretty much like people going to start self-educating themselves. There are apps out there, for an example, that you can download to see the value of your baseball trading cards. I didn't know about that until recently when I inquired like 2 million cards. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's weird. Like, there's not that much info out there if you don't know what to look for. So I don't think that remote ID is going to present such a huge type of issue. You know what I mean? Michelle B, hello. I'm excited to see the discussion on this topic. We're a little over a week out from the manufacturer's compliance deadline. Yes, we are. So, like I said before, it's going to be any drone that is manufactured after September 16, 2022 has to have some sort of compliance uh, that it offers. So, which is probably why DJI busted out the Mini 3 Pro real quick, threw out the Avata or whatever. I have a bad timing with it. I don't know that name. Avata, the DJI Avata. And then you have to think about the hobbyists as well that build their own stuff. So now, how are they going to be compliant with that stuff? How their transmitter is going to be compliant with that stuff? And it's like, I think that even those guys that buy like their transmitters and that buy their drone parts and stuff, there will be something that they're going to offer. This is the remote ID compliance thing that is going to work together with your transmitter. Everybody has to sort of fall within that stuff. Just because you say, oh, I can build my own and I don't even have remote ID, then it's up to you that you just mess that up. Because what if something happens with your drone and you crash it into somebody's home, or you crash into somebody's head? Or we all know that there's always this one person, and it's a progress. The remote ID is going to be a progress to get used to it, though, to get the majority of people on board. But like I said, you got to look at the positive things. So since I do a lot of real estate videography, I do a lot of shootings, I do some filmmaking stuff, I do recreational flying. I have nothing to hide because I'm always ready to professionally answer to a Karen or Kevin who approaches me without seeking confrontation. And that is the main part. Even though she's yelling at me, even though he's yelling at me, I had it many, many times that they come up to me and they start yelling at me, why are you flying over my property? Why are you doing this? Why are you looking in my window? And then I take it as a humor and I'm looking at them like, I'm sorry, but you're not that pretty that I really want to look through that window. You know what I mean? Like trigger the insecurities a little bit. Or you, I offer them like if I still have it unpacked. I even when it was packed, I unpacked it. I told them, hey, if you want to take a look at it, I have my business card with me too. I give it to them. I tell them who I am, what my purpose was that I was there, and what I was initially doing. And I even tell them the real estate agents that I'm working for because I am right in front of that property. So it's a professional thing. So you can do the same thing if you do recreational flying. So if you stay somewhere by a park where you know you can fly, you'll always have the people that are going to ask, oh, that's on fast drone. You know what I mean? They're going to ask you questions about it, even if you don't want to answer the questions. But on the other hand, it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? I think it's really nice that some people want to engage with you, have a conversation. Have a conversation with those people. You know what I mean? Even though, yeah, you got to keep an eye on your drone, but you can always bring it back, land it in front of you, continue the flight afterwards, and have a quick conversation with that person. I guarantee you, as a pilot or an operator, it'll be cool. I've seen a lot of incidents on the net where I'm questioning really why the pilot or operator has reacted that way. I understand when somebody comes to you and is yelling at you and all that stuff, but you are the person that they have beef with. So it's your job, sort of, or it would be in your best interest to educate these people if they are willing to listen. Of course, you're always going to have that one person who doesn't want to listen. Then, hey, by all means, go for it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to abide or be submissive to anybody. It's just try approach it professionally. Tell them what you're doing. Show them what you're doing. That's what I've been doing. I have this huge screen, and I show it to them and tell them, hey, look, you want to take a look, and if you engage them, because some of these guys, they throw a tantrum like a 5-year-old, and if you treat them like a 5-year-old and you tell them, hey, you want to take a look at this stuff, you want to look, then they're going to be engaged in their activity already, and then but some of them feel like bothered and they feel like threatened and intimidated because it's a big drone. It's an Autel Evo 2 Pro, huge. The thing makes a lot of noise. You know what I mean? Let's skim through the chat real quick. I seen a couple of things pop up. WrestleMania said, as a fellow Evo 2 flyer, have you heard of any work around Autel is going to have for version 1 birds? No, I haven't. As far as I have seen it in their blogs and stuff, they haven't really addressed the issue yet. But I'm pretty sure that when they come out with the announcement during the time of the V3, that probably the V1 or V2 might have a firmware update that is compatible with the stuff, because after all, they're still using the Autel Explorer app. So I'm not quite sure that if they only offer a firmware update on that thing, that they have to be in compliance with that. You gotta have network, because there are still some rural areas where you don't have it. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that works out. And then we have Michelle. Why aren't major manufacturers putting it out there that their drones will be / are compliant? It seems like a selling point since consumers wouldn't have to buy an aftermarket module. It is a selling point at this point where it's just like any other car, or like, for an example, the best example is the Avata. They have not offered a joystick with it, a controller with it, which is the V2 controller. They haven't offered it, only that stick to fly it around with the Avata. It's a marketing thing, as long as people are going to spend money, Besides that, because until to the point of September 16th, it was not required by law to have it as a manufacturer that it is compliant. So because of that, it's like everywhere else. I'm not going to do it until I don't have to. That is pretty much what it is, and it's regardless of who it is, private person, manufacturer, whatever it is. So it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Also, thanks for moderating me. Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it, because everybody helps me when you guys moderate, because there's always, these spam bots that always show up. Like, I get a lot of those sometimes during the live streams. Hello, guys. It's been a while. Yes, Mike Miller. It has been a while. What's up, Alika, my man? How's it, my brother? How you doing? You got to come by one day, and then we got to fly the Avata stuff. So you got to definitely check it out. So besides that remote ID, like I said, with the FPV style too, is like, how are they going to be compatible with that whole thing. How are they going to be in compliance? Because I see them fly, and when they fly, they're not really going that far unless they're going like really remote areas and then film. The other part that I'm looking into that whole stuff is through that remote ID, will it replace things like lands, for example, approval things that you can fly here? Why would I have to do double whammy now? I have to apply for the lands in this area to get approved. My Autel is going to take off anyways, and if this sucker is broadcasting my position already and my flight data, why do I have to, go for whatever? I think there are gonna be a few kinks and nicks and dings that they're gonna have to work out, and it's gonna be a little bit stumbly and besides that, it's also like when it was inquired a couple times through the FAA. They called and they found out who I was, and then they're like, oh, we've seen this video on YouTube and blah blah. When did you, And I told them, I said, oh, what? And they had a complaint that was in that area at that time, and I told them I didn't even fly at that time, and then I was trying to remember when I made that footage because I didn't even have the footage anymore. I only used it for the channel at that time, and I was like, oh my god! And I was looking around at the time when I posted the video, thinking about it backwards, and then I found an email because I save all my lands approvals and stuff in one separate folder that comes to my email, and I was going through that stuff, and there were only like 2 or 3, so I just took one of those numbers and I told the guy, hey, this is the lands approval that I had during that time with this drone, and it matched with the flight records at the time in that area. So I told him, I think this is the one. And I got Lance approval. So I was able to fly there, and I did. And I have the records for it to prove it, which was good. But now with remote ID, so what if somebody posts a video on YouTube and somehow they're going to be able to determine what date you flew it if you don't have the original footage that shows in the details section when this clip was created, you know? They're going to find it out through remote ID. That's if you have remote ID. So now with the guys that don't have remote ID, if you post a video, they might be able to hold you accountable. It's a money-making machine too. Maybe. It's like, the cameras at the red lights, if you pass the red light kind of stuff. So got to be careful out there. So Michelle says, is the Avata is sub 250, right? No, it's not. It's 410 grams, girl. It's not a 250, sub 250. Sub 250 is the Mini 3 Pro right here, and the Mini 1, and of course the 2. And then as far as I believe it's the Nano Plus as well. They are all sub 250 drones. So the Avata is not. It's 410 grams of weight, so it still needs to be registered. I just picked mine up today. It's charging, and kind of excited to make a review on it. So yeah, it's not a sub 250. Glad to see a number of your diehard followers here listening. Oh, definitely. It's funny. It's like for like how long ago did I make a live stream? Like it's got to be months, like if not half a year, because it's a free version right now from StreamYard. That's why I get the logo up there in the top corner. So I'm going to probably go back to StreamYard because it's so much easier. I have all my stuff on there already. So I'll probably try and go back, but it's annually now. It's like $300. So I don't know if I can dish out $300 right now. I just bought 2 drones. You know what I mean? So Michelle B said, oh, wow. Yeah, it is. Oh, wow. If 410 grams hit you in the head going 80 miles an hour, so anyways, but the Mini 3 Pro, for example, is one of the things that are at the moment without the extended flight time battery that brings the drone above the 250 grams version, that does not require remote ID at this point because it's the sub 250. So how is that with the Nano and stuff? How is it with other drones that are sub 250? How is it with FPV drones that are sub 250? You know what I mean? Like, are they sub 250 without the LiPo battery? What? You know what I mean? Like how are they going to determine those things? So the question is, will they hold people more accountable as they are doing right now? Because usually they only follow up like on YouTube videos and stuff. If you monetize, you got to have a Part 107, meaning because you are making videos that are with the drone with the intention of posting it on a monetized channel. That makes you ultimately required to have a Part 107. So far, they have been able to, even if they inquired in the beginning when I didn't have a Part 107, and they inquired and said, oh, we've seen your channel is monetized, and we had a complaint about blah blah whatever, and they asked, and I told them, sir, it's not my footage. I bought it. Okay, and they couldn't say nothing else. Oh, did you do? How much did you pay? It was under the table. I just asked the guy, and I told him, I said, I'll pay you $50 if I can have the footage, so I can put it on my channel. That's all I told him. And they're not gonna go through the extent unless there is a major incident to verify that information. I'll tell you that. So, but now with remote ID, they might have the ability to see that you were flying this stuff because this drone was registered to you or whoever it was to, if they want to inquire, like, where did you get this footage? So it's I don't know. Mike Miller said stick with the free version. I didn't even notice the logo up there. Yeah, for now I have to stick with the free version. Like I said, I'm still out of work. But I'm starting up my channel again with reviews and stuff. I just couldn't do it for a while because I was going through that whole physical therapy stuff. And let me tell you, my freaking knee is sore. Like 2 surgeries later, it still hurts like really bad. I filmed my son's football game on Sunday. I paid a bit of price for it. On Monday, I couldn't even walk. Like it's I gotta take it easy. I'm slowly getting back into it, and then once I return to work full time, I'm gonna be able to make up for more stuff. So, Michelle says, "Would OBS work for you for streaming?" I believe I tried OBS before. I mean, I think I did. I think it works. I think so. I think I tried OBS. I just didn't like that it was so complicated. I'm not a nerd for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I would have to try more and more stuff. But I liked StreamYard so easy because it was so good to just drop my logo in there, drop my the footage in there that I created the intro with, and just having it already on here. You know what I mean? But why not? I probably might be able to give that a try too. I've seen a lot of guys do a lot of cool stuff with OBS, and I have a very strong internet connection, so I have 400 down, 25 up, so I shouldn't have a problem. Plus, right now I'm looking at the footage right here on the channel itself because I stay on my own channel. If you guys can see that right here, right there. So I'm looking at my own channel so I can read the live chat faster than in StreamYard, and it's. I mean, I like the quality. There's not much difference. Like I used to pay $50 a month before, which was like the 49.99 thing, and then I dropped out because I couldn't afford it. And thinking about it afterwards, that's like $600 almost a year. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, that's like I could have bought a drone for that. Anyways, so back to remote ID. I think it's a very positive thing because you can utilize it also. It's a two-edged sword. It's just like cameras, body cam on a police officer. If he's a good cop and he has nothing to hide and he keeps it professional, that footage will save him if somebody is trying to come after him. And remote ID can do the same thing to you. If you were legal, if you were, what's up, Arizona drone dude? How you doing, my man? If you were legal, if you are licensed, if you are registered, if you have all these things in order, just like with your car, driving around, having legal registration and driver's license and up to par insurance, as long as you don't do nothing wrong, remote ID is going to be on your side because you can show pretty much with that what you was doing, where you've been, and how things were going. Now, if you intend to intentionally not use remote ID and do something stupid and something really dumb happen, they can hold you liable and accountable, and you have to take the burn for it because you just messed up. That's if they can prove it. So I think remote ID has a pretty good thing going for itself. Like I said, do I like it? No. Do I support it? Probably not. But I have to deal with it. So if I deal with it, then I will look at it in a positive way, which in my eyes, I'm going to utilize it to push back all these Karens and Kevins and tell them, hey, there's remote ID. Everything is compliant. You know what I mean? Like if you have a problem with this, call the police, please. When the cops come, then I can just simply tell them, I said, this is what it looks like. I can educate them because I'm not going to deal with this knucklehead right there. I can even call the police myself, and have them come and tell, this person is harassing me. I'm doing my thing and I'm legal, and this person is hindering me of making freaking money. You know what I mean? So anyways, Mike Miller says, also keep in mind that the intent of the flight before the flight begins determines whether it is a Part 107 flight. That's correct. Because if you intend to make money with it, then it's a Part 107 flight. If you intend to just fly around and take some great footage and stuff like that, and you end up never posting it on Facebook or YouTube, or no, a monetized YouTube channel, and you're just using it for social media and you're using it to share with your family and to show off on Instagram without having it being monetized, then it's not a Part 107 flight. A Part 107 flight is if you legally get paid for it and your intention to fly is to capture paid footage, you know. It can be intended as a hobbyist flight and become profitable flight after the flight has been flown. Yes, it can become that too, because I have some footage from way back then that I still can use now to sell. So that was like 4 years ago, 2 years ago when I started flying. I think it was like 3 years ago. Still footage that is usable because I used it on Adobe stock at some point and put it up there and they accepted it. So therefore it is actually good footage. And I have sold it, but to a local company here, you know. So, and that's the thing that you got to remember now. I wasn't a Part 107 pilot at that point. Became a Part 107 pilot a year later, but it's been 3 years down the road now, and I can still sell the footage, which I took 3 years ago because now I'm Part 107. See what I mean? So Michelle B says there's no record database created that's historical though, right? An example, a running log of flights. I'm not sure about that yet. I think it's all life data. So that means, well, I don't I don't want to talk bubbles, but as far as I know, it's all life data that in case of inquiry, it's at the time being, that if they want to find out, oh, there's somebody's flying close to the airport, I wonder if he has permission, like things like that. And then they can pinpoint in what sort of area you were at to fly, you know. As far as I heard it, you're right. There's no database or anything that records the stuff historically wise. But even then, because it's just, I don't think it's transmitting who you are as the pilot. I'm not sure though. They might change that. You know what I mean? Like at first, it was just where the drone is at. Because there were a few changes that it went through. At first, it was required to have internet. Then they said, hey, there are parts in America we don't have freaking internet. You are out in the boonies. There's no satellite. There's no internet. There's no GPS. We're not going to be able to catch it. I have areas like that over here. I can fly. I have like 9, maybe 10 satellites, So, but yeah, there's guaranteed some places where you don't have. So you take the footage there, then, how are you going to find out that I was flying there? you know? So must get going, my friend. I have a 5 a.m. start tomorrow. Okay, take it easy, WrestleMania. Thank you for coming by, everyone. Please remember to click the thumbs up button. Yes, please do so. It shows him you care and it's free. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So, Michelle B, I think you're right. All life data. Yeah, as far as I know, there's all life data. It's not recorded at this time because I don't think that it would make any sense, unless there's a major incident. Usually it's major incidents that are going to change things. So we're going to see when this kicks off on September 16th, 2023. And I guarantee you within the first month or two, it's going to have a major incident somewhere. The data could be captured theoretically. Yeah, it could be. It could be stored on a certain server or wherever, or the network. Nowadays, everything is about the network. So if they have something like that, they're probably going to be able to figure it out how to store all the data. The question is, who's going to oversee this stuff? So you need a committee for that. It's data. So if it captures your name, if it has your pilot name or the operator's identity, you got to watch out for identity theft now. So now who's going to be responsible for the stuff? Who's going to be held liable for that stuff in case of a hacking part where data gets missing? Is the FAA going to be responsible for who came up with the remote ID? Who's going to be held responsible for introducing it at that point? Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of questions that people are going to have. I guarantee you that. You know what I mean? So also subscribe if you have not already. Yes, that would help too. Definitely would help. Okay. So, yeah. So remote ID, quick reflection real fast for those who came late. If you have remote ID, you got to have remote ID. The manufacturer's going to have compatible devices of remote ID starting September 16, 2022, all the way up to September 16, 2023. After that time, operators and pilots of drones have to be in compliance with the remote ID of above 250 grams drones all the way up to 55 pounds drones. Just letting you guys know. Okay. So, and remote ID is a system put in place to transmit a signal with your data of current position, flight routes, and I believe takeoff and landing area. I want to say something stupid. I know I educated myself a little bit with it, but right there, FAA administration already. Okay, let's share this screen. Share screen. That screen right here. Boom. So I hope you guys can see this. Yeah, you guys can. Oops. Wait, am I messing it up? Anyways, remote ID and identification drones are on map. Blah. Yeah, we know that. What is real? Remote ID is the ability of a drone in flight to provide identification and location information that can be received by other parties. So, as we have said before, other parties, it might be other parties. Who's the other parties? Is it just going to be law enforcement? Is it going to be everybody? Is it going to be, public? Is it just official agencies? We don't know yet, really. Like, there's speculations, but until September 16, 2023, we're not going to know for sure who's going to be able to watch that. And then let's see. Why do we need remote ID? They wrote that themselves on the FAA page. Remote ID helps the FAA, law enforcement, and other federal agencies find the control station when a drone appears to be flying in an unsafe manner or where it is not allowed to fly. Remote ID also lays the foundation of the safety and security groundwork needed for more complex drone operations. There we have it. Pretty much, they want remote ID to prevent the dummies to create a major incident. So far, we have been, in my eyes, for the amount of time that drones have been available, we have been lucky that there was not a major passenger plane crash with 160 or 400 passengers on board because of a damn drone. Were there collisions with manned aircraft vehicles? Yes, definitely. I remember there was a big deal about a chopper pilot in LA, police helicopter, where a Mavic flew into it, there was somewhere in Timbuktu. I have no idea. They had a impact on the cabin right above the pilot. The thing had an indentation, and the left arm of the drone actually got stuck within the stuff. So, wow, it's an aircraft. It's a passenger. You have to make way for any manned aircraft as a drone pilot. Is that the easiest thing to do? Sometimes not. Can you go above 400 ground, 400 AGL above ground? Only in cases of emergency that that you're going to be faster ascending than descending. Because we all know that when you try to get your drone down, it's like, ooh, she go down really slow. While when you ascend, she goes super fast. So if you have last second kind of, oh, there's somebody, I might hit him. It's going to be hard, but you can exceed the 400 above ground real quick just in case of emergency. And then as long as nothing happens, you don't even have to report it, only if the FAA asks you for it. You know what I mean? So remember that now. It's always to make way for manned aircraft traffic. So you got to make way, okay? So Michelle says someone could create an app to record the data if they were so inclined, but it would be a hassle and would need to be crowdsourced. See, the thing is, like you said before, where is it going to transmit to? So if it transmits to somewhere where we can pull off the data, there will be an app available already made by the FAA, guarantee, that is available for people. People want to play around with it. But like I said, the question is what type of ID or what type of information will remote ID actually record? Based on, you got to think about now ID theft. Like if my name is on that, like my name is on the Part 107. If you go look into the Airman Registry, you look up my name, my real name, and you're going to find what type of certification that I have, when I inquired it, when it was issued to me, all that stuff. Now, that's public record to a certain extent. The question is, hey, how far can we push this? The question will always be, what type of data will remote ID actually record besides the location and height and flight and stuff from the aircraft itself? Tons of questions. That's correct. There are tons of questions. And just like I said, because I received so many emails, I just try to share what I know about it already and what I have educated myself about and what I actually thought of remote ID, because remote ID is coming and we know it now that it is coming because September 16, 2022, manufacturers, any drone that is manufactured after that date will have to be in compliance, And section ID or serial number, I think. Yeah, so we'll see. Depends on if module or built-in. Yes. So is anyone who can capture the data. That's pretty sucky. The question is, where do you transmit it to? You know what I mean? Like, so if anybody can capture the data, where does it go to initially? Because you have to initially have a place where it goes to that anybody can access it. So now that area right there is where we have to look at who's responsible for that area. That's pretty much what I'm looking at. Just FAA and law enforcement can get the identity of the user, but that would take an additional step, is my understanding. If that's the case, I have nothing to fear because I'm usually always within compliance of a FAA regulation because I don't want to lose my Part 107 or be held accountable or end up in jail or having a $150,000 fine for anything. So I definitely have to be careful about that. So what's up, Adrian? How you doing, my buddy? I'm good. This is my first live stream in a long time, and I figured pick up on this subject because you can, you have to physically be in a proximity to capture the data. Oh, huh? What? Seriously? Wow. Okay. Well, we have a lot of rural areas that don't have any law enforcement guys. So I don't know if it's really that good then that you stay out in a boonies somewhere and you want to make a really secluded area that you want to fly at and you want to go around and then all of a sudden you end up with like, the hills have eyes kind of guys, serial killers hunting you down. Yeah, because they're going to know now where you're at and they know that you have a drone. They might rip you off. I don't know. I mean, there's possibilities. Nothing is impossible these days. You know what I mean? So if a random passerby saw you flying a drone, if they had an app to capture the data, they could see the pieces of data that you're required to broadcast. Okay, yeah, but he's right there. So yeah, if you want to talk about it, I can show you the data too. I give you the telemetry if you want to. So hey, today is my birthday. I'm very busy right now, so I cannot stay long. Happy birthday, my friend. Everybody, thumbs up. Happy birthday. Have a great show, brother. Just smash that thumbs up for you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Anyways, it's been almost an hour, I think, since I started broadcasting. It's like 45 minutes or 37 minutes right now. I deeply appreciate you guys. I hope I could get this remote ID question sort of a little bit under control. It's been a long time that I haven't done any live streams. I actually like the way the live stream is from free right now from StreamYard, so I'll just keep using it. Next video projects that are coming up is the Mini 3 Pro versus the Lite Plus right here, which I'm almost finished filming. Actually, I did finish filming it today. I just got to finish editing it. But I also have the Avata right now charging. So I'm looking forward to fly that sucker too. And definitely going to have the unboxing, going to have all that stuff with the Avata, and because it's the newest piece of tech or whatever. I just bought it because I had to sell my FPV, and I got the Avata, and I'm looking forward to fly that sucker. So I deeply appreciate all of you guys that came by today, and thank you very much for the Adrian happy birthday wishes right there. I love you guys. You guys are great. So, and then until then, please don't forget, be a nice human, make somebody else smile, and definitely pay it forward. If you're in the McDonald's drive-thru, I do that all the time. I just pay for the person behind me, and I just tell the clerk, tell them, have a nice day, and pay it forward. You know what I mean? So just like that. I don't need to be recognized for good works. Just be that nice person. Okay? So aloha style. Love you all, everybody. Thank you guys all for coming. I appreciate you guys. Take it easy. Aloha.